It's the new year, and I figured I'd check out Sketchmarker's alcohol markers. This is the 96 set, and I'm just going to go ahead and open them right up. Pretty easy. So the box is really nice. They have a little handle right here that makes it easy to carry around. And I'm just going to open it from here. And here are my markers. So the company Sketchmarker contacted me and sent me these for free in exchange for checking them out and reviewing them, giving my thoughts on them. So this is the marker itself, perfectly circular and round, not as bulky as some of the other markers that I've checked out before. It has a gray tone all throughout, kind of similar to the Copic. And then we have a line indication letting us know that this is the fine tip on this side. There we go. And then on the other side, we have our chisel nib. So the 96 set comes with a really good color selection, I feel. But first things first, I'm going to color swatch each one. So let's go do that. So as I was prepping to go ahead and swatch these, I realized that there is a plastic holder in the box for all the markers, and it's got their logo right here for Sketchmarker. And so that was just really exciting to find out, because a nice container like this isn't something that often comes with markers. You have the option of storing them straight up, or I know a lot of you like to store them on the side so that the ink isn't drawn to just one side of the marker, and you can go ahead and just lay them flat like this. And then I was also prepping my paper to go ahead and color swatch, but I realized these two things were included. First is just a thank you card and to join the Sketchers Club. And then this is your color swatch sheet. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this. It just makes things easier since I don't have to label things myself. And this also came with it too, which is just more information where you can find them on Facebook and Instagram, etc. So I just realized that this color swatch isn't exclusive to just this set. It's for all of their colors. Makes things easier. Not nearly enough marker companies do this. I think I previously said that these markers remind me of the Copic Sketch. And I feel like that's kind of incorrect because they're much more like the Copic Chow because of the fact that they also have a circular barrel to them. And I just wanted to be more precise, I guess. But of course, these aren't brush nibs. These are your bullet tip nibs, which I just wanted to point out, as I know that that's a big deal with a lot of marker artists out there. This color definitely does not match its cap. That's interesting. It just looked a lot more brownish in color, where the actual color is definitely more purple. Like, this is the color I would expect, but when I saw the cap, I was like, wow, this is really brown to be a violet. And I know some people are super weird about caps not matching colors. Honestly, I feel like it happens a ton, regardless of brand, so I've come to just not expect caps to match colors. But this one really threw me off. All right, so I finished. And these are all the colors in this selection. Can kind of fit it. There we go. And I do hope I'll be able to add in the future to this list. All right, so let's get into some blends and let's check out actually coloring with them. So I've got my blending card right here, and this is what I'm going to be coloring afterwards. But first, let's see about blending some of these colors. All right, I'm going to go ahead and try going from a greenish yellow to an aqua blue. And I'm using the chisel nib because these are bullet point markers, and bullet point nibs aren't the best for blending in my opinion, unless you're blending in a very, very small area. Whereas the chisel nib gives you a lot more ink to get the sort of blend that you're looking for. So this is my third color right now, and this is looking really good. Really liking the ink. And then this is mint, my fourth color. So now we're heading into this blue. I'm going to go back with my other color, which was a pale green, and kind of go over top of the blue that I just used, just to get a much smoother blend. And then my last color, which is the aqua. Going with my previous color, which was the mint, just to sort of get that gradient effect that I'm looking for. Look at that. This is an incredibly smooth blend. And so yeah, after that really cool blend, I figured let's go ahead and get into the picture that I've drawn here. And of course, I drew this up digitally in Procreate and then just printed it out to color in traditionally. And so far, I definitely do like the blending. It's pretty effortless. At the same time, I do have to worry about the ink spreading, which will happen if I tend to have either a heavy hand or just try to blend out too much. And if you've never heard of Sketchmarker, don't feel bad because I haven't either, but that probably has to do with the fact that they are new to the American market, but in Russia and the Ukraine, they are one of the leading art brands there since 2016. And they became pretty popular when they released their first alcohol marker line, which makes sense because I'm really liking the quality of these markers. And they do have more than just markers, so they also sell fine liners, lettering pens, sketch pads, and sketchbooks. And I wasn't sent all of that. I was just sent the markers to check out. And I'm sure a lot of you are interested in what the pricing is. So on Amazon, they're about $2.19 for this 96 count set. Although it seems like they kind of go on sale every once in a while. Like actually right now, as of the recording of this video, I don't know what it will be when I release this video. But as of the recording of this video, they do actually have 10% off. So they're about $197 right now. And that roughly comes to about $228 per marker, which is pretty comparable to the Copic Chow. And the Copic Chow range in price from about generally $3-ish per marker, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, just depends on the set. Of course, the biggest difference being between the Chow and these are the fact that these sketch markers are bullet nib and chisel nib. I used to think that I cared a lot more about brush nibs, but honestly, I've come to really appreciate bullet nibs and chisel nib combos. Like, I don't know, I don't completely understand the resistance that artists have with bullet and chisel nib, especially chisel nib. But from what I hear, it's just more difficult to blend with chisel nibs, to which I say, I guess. But I feel like the biggest point I want to make here is that just because some people will inevitably feel that it's a Copic alternative doesn't exactly mean it's going to be super cheap or budget friendly. I think a lot of artists who go into alcohol markers not wanting Copic just assume that every marker is going to be an extremely budget friendly sort of marker, and that's just not exactly the case. I mean, I do feel that this company is in direct competition with Copic, but not in the way that a lot of other brands are. And this is not a one and done kind of marker. One and done are usually markers that refer to like, once you use all the ink, that's it. You throw it away. You got to get a new one. Sketchmarker is not like that. They have refills for ink, they have replacements for nibs, and I know that's a big deal to a lot of you all. The other big pro being the fact that they have an incredibly large color selection, which I kind of showed on the color swatch sheet with all these colors, but they have 448 to be exact, and I didn't mention that before, which I think I should have. Most brands that I've reviewed and tried out usually have like, I don't know, 200, 250. I think most I've seen is like 350. So if you're big on collecting colors, this brand delivers as far as colors go. So far though, I haven't had any issues with coloring or anything like that. And now time to color the dog. I've been looking forward to this part since I started. As far as cons though, I can't really think of many. This is a standardly good marker that delivers for its price. I have read, though, that one big issue is getting refills and replacements. And that mostly has to do with the fact that they are a Russian brand, so it's just harder to find here in America. Which makes sense because I tried looking for Sketchmarker on Amazon, and they're on Amazon, but when I tried just using the search feature and I just put in Sketchmarker, nothing came up for them. And it could be that their name is very generic. When people hear Sketchmarker, they just assume any alcohol marker. So that could definitely be part of the problem. But regardless, I don't think the whole being a product that's hard to find is going to be an issue for much longer. I just think it's an issue now because they're just breaking into the market. They're becoming more known. And as they get known, I'm sure that colors that are hard to find and refills that are hard to find and replacements that are hard to find are going to not be an issue in the future. So far though, I really like them. I haven't had any trouble with them. I think maybe I had a bit of bleeding out a little when I was blending the hair, but it seemed very controllable when I went in with a lighter hand. Because usually I tend to get pretty strong with my blends. Like, I don't know, I feel like maybe if I apply more pressure, I'll get a better blend. And that's not always the case. So I try to be more controlled in that area. And that's that. So I really enjoyed these markers. They're a really good brand. The pros being that they have replaceable nibs, they have refill ink, they come with this storage box. The ink is really good, it's consistent, I liked it. The caps post, but I don't think they post well. They're quite loose, so I wouldn't post them personally, which is why I didn't really do it that much. Some caps do fit a little tighter on some of the markers, so some of the caps might post and most of them will not. Just depends. And yeah, and the big cons just being the fact that they're hard to find. But I feel like that's not going to be an issue as they get bigger and become more known in the American market and in other markets around the world. And then, of course, lastly, they are not really a budget-friendly marker. They are more pricier. But of course, if these markers are within your price range, I do recommend them. They are really good. Like I said, I had no issues and I really enjoyed them. I'll be checking out their skin tone pack soon, so keep an eye out for that. I'm really excited to check that out. So if you enjoyed this video, maybe comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.